Since its inception in 2016, Pelican Rapids Soccer has been on the rise, and in 2018, the team completed their first winning season in the program's short history. But after an unexpected first-round exit from the playoff, it was unclear as the 2019 season approached if the young squad would be ready for what was in front of them. There were signs of hope. The summer development squad brought home their first trophy. The early days of practice and the first scrimmage showed the team had the necessary skills to be one of the best teams in the section this season. "19 goals in the first 3 games proved that the 72 goals scored 1 year ago were not a fluke, and the team landed on the first day of school 2-0-1. That night, the team won an important game on the road under the lights of East Grand Forks and followed it 2 nights later with an historic victory at section rival Detroit Lakes, beating the Lakers for the first time in program history. The team looked to the victory against the Minnewaska Lakers, but the heavy fatigue of the week would play a factor.
We had 2 really hard games before Minnewaska.
The Minnewaska game came at the end of probably our hardest week of the year.
We came into Saturday just gassed.
And we thought that game was going to be an easy one.
I could tell that most of our players were tired. They weren't really focused on the game. Everyone was tired from a whole week of games and school.
You could tell in warm-ups that we just weren't mentally prepared for the game.
Very quickly, it was evident that we were off that day.
Didn't finish. We weren't playing with high intensity or anything like that.
And I told Joey, I said, we might be in trouble here. I think we're just out of gas. I don't think it's that the boys aren't trying. I think we're just totally out of gas right now.
Despite building a 2-0 early lead, 2 goals in the second half by the Lakers sent the match into a 10-minute overtime.
Guys, let's put our head down. It's 10 minutes here. And let's just try to knock one in the back of the net.
2 minutes left, and then I crossed the ball. He just flipped it with his head, and then Mohamed finished it.
Mohamed Ahmed, winning goal with less than 3 minutes to play, pushed the Vikings record to 5 wins, 0 losses, and 1 draw. After another victory in Crookston, the Vikings prepare for the intense rivalry against Hillcrest Lutheran Academy. In 2016, the Vikings broke away from a partnership with the Comets to form their own team. Although friendships remain close between players and coaches, the matches have been filled with contention and passion.
The Hillcrest rivalry is really unique.
Coach Rod taught us how to play soccer, how to improve our skills and stuff.
They were the first ones to help me improve in soccer.
So then when we weren't partners with them anymore, I wanted to really show him on the field how all the skills he showed me.
You're supposed to take every game like it's the hardest game ever, but Hillcrest is just different. You have to play them. We played them in such a way that we wanted to beat them as badly as we had wanted to make the varsity roster first couple of years.
And they also felt as if I was playing versus my own family.
For Alan, Trix, Yaya, and Kirby, that's actually where they started their soccer career. And so whenever we play Hillcrest, it's almost like they're going to play against their dad.
first time all season, the Vikings found themselves behind 2-1 at halftime, and it would take a late goal from Khadr Ibrahim to earn a draw for the team. A few nights later, the team returned to the pitch and spent the better part of the night dismantling a St. John's Prep defense with a team record of 500 completed passes to win 6-1. The team had now gone 365 days without a regular season loss. Their next opponent, the Bemidji Lumberjacks, was the last team to have beaten the Vikings during the regular season.
Today, the 6-1-1 Bemidji Lumberjacks play host to the 7-0-2 Pelican Rapids Vikings in a battle between a one-loss team and an unbeaten team here at the Bemidji Middle School today. And indeed, it is a big game in both the Lakes to Prairie Conference and in Section 8A in the north. Taken quickly, played over to the far side, and now into the center by the Vikings as they look to play it up and out. As that was Rosiles. Now here he is again in the center of the field, playing to the center as they'll play a quick combination in the middle of the field and look to get moving forward. Ibrahim receives back in the center of the field, and now will look to fire down the near side for the run of Alan Villagomez.
On a night where the Vikings controlled possession, the Vikings defense had breakdowns that led to goal after goal.
The Bemidji loss was eye-opening.
No one expected that score. Everyone thought it was going to be a close score.
It's coming out of Bemidji, I think we kind of all realize that, hey, if we want to be a serious contending team, we gotta buckle down, and we have to start acting like a winning team, not just a team who's best of the rest.
It really woke us up that we actually got to take things serious and practice and actually elevate our play style to greater heights.
And for the coaches, it was what we needed to demand of the players, that we needed to raise the level of concern every day in practice, that we needed to be ready for more.
The Vikings had little time to reshape things on the practice pitch because 2 nights later, they were due to face the Otters of Fergus Falls. Despite their loss to Bemidji, the Vikings looked like a new team that night, patiently breaking down the Otters, grinding out a 3-0 win on the road. The Vikings had shown they could rebound from a loss and look to carry their momentum into their rematch with Hillcrest.
Especially on the away game, the field, the environment felt like it's something that belonged in my life of soccer, and that's where it kind of all started.
JP mentioned that they don't really like Saturday morning games, and we took that as an advantage. And
Everybody play like he's on fire.
But that away game, we played as a team, we communicated, then we got the goals, and we got the dub.
If we play like that every game, we should be winning all the time.
And Joey, after the game, made the comment that everybody in the section is going to put a target on our back and start coming after us. And he told the guys as much. He said, you need to be ready that every team we've played so far that we play again, they're going to come after us harder because of where we're at.
Hey, be quiet, guys.
The next 2 games at home proved Coach Joey's words to be prophetic in that the teams they had easily handled earlier in the year were proving to be much harder to dispatch. A rough match against Detroit Lakes ended in a 2-1 late victory for the team. The victory pushed the Vikings win total to double digits for the first time ever as the Vikings prepare for the playoffs and the opportunity to host a playoff game. The new structure of the playoff meant the Vikings had to wait on the sideline to see who their opponent would be in the section's quarterfinal. The Alexandria Cardinals earned the right to face the Vikings, but heavy snow meant the match was first postponed and then moved venues. The Vikings would play a home playoff game in Fergus Falls, Minnesota for a chance to move to the semifinals. In what was possibly the most exciting game of the season, the Vikings could not overcome 3 goals by the Cardinals, and despite their best efforts, the Vikings were eliminated from the playoffs. Despite the loss, there is a lot to celebrate this season, and that is why we gather here tonight, to celebrate the accomplishments and friendships of many, and we want to recognize the successes of this unified team. Welcome to the 2019 Pelican Rapids Soccer Awards. Now here is your head coach, John Peter.